Hey cats, what's good? Today we're going to talk about illegal immigration, the left, especially their governors and mayors, how we got here, and the UN's part in it all. All right, you know the deal. You want to hit? Here you go.
We're the United States of America. There's nothing we've ever set our mind to, we've not been able to do. Nothing.
She's steady asking me if my soul is safe. Yeah, it's in the deep freezer, it's gonna stay that way. I don't give a fuck if you're mad, you can die mad. I don't give a fuck.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. So, like I said, today we're going to talk about immigration, leftist mayors and governors, how we got to where we're at as far as the immigration situation goes, and the UN's part, like I mentioned. So we're going to focus mainly today on Massachusetts, DC, and New York. Okay, those are three places that are one of many sanctuary county city states, right? But they're the most famous. I mean, you know, some of our biggest, and then obviously with the whole DeSantis situation going on, you see a lot more of these people. Obviously, when you're tied to some of the larger cities or DC, you know, you're going to be a bit more. I guess spoken as far as like news channels go, media coverage. Now we have the situation. I'm sure plenty of you have seen the whole flying and busing immigrants around the country from Texas, Florida, different areas to these so-called sanctuary city states, counties. And you now have the left melting down. These aren't saying like these aren't sanctuary whoop-de-woo, but yet we have their words in archive, right? And then if you bring up the fact that this is part of a larger scheme, mainly replacement theory, you're derided, laughed at, told that you're a conspiracy theorist, a racist, yada yada. But yet we got this. Yeah. An archive straight from the UN, okay? And it details replacement theory, not just the United States, but around the planet, okay? I mean, and this is just obviously a short little snippet of it. I can't just scroll through a whole charter here, but I'll try to put the link in for you. It's definitely archived. It's definitely from the UN. It's official shit. Basically, their statement is the West is not breeding at replacement levels. Okay, which to me is not a bad thing. Okay, that's obviously space. That's going to decrease prices as far as like homes are concerned. Because they won't be selling as much. Obviously, it's also going to make labor at a premium. The less people you have, the higher value actual labor is, right? But the left doesn't see it that way. Of course, they see it as getting themselves votes, basically. Solidifying power, bringing in people from countries that statistically tend to vote for larger government, draconian measures. They've never really had the freedoms that we've had, and to be able to miss them or want to fight for them. And that to me, that seems like that was the plan as far as the left's concerned, but now they're getting a rude awakening, not only with the taste of their own medicine, with these immigrants being flown and bused to their areas, but as far as, they're losing the Latin vote. I mean, it's not just like Mexicans pouring over the border. It's Venezuelans, Guatemalans, the list keeps going. But, the biggest block that they've tried to court over the past years here has been, the Latino vote, and they're losing it. I mean, more and more they're voting for Republicans, right? But we all know that these people incentivized these immigrants to come not only to our country, but try to make it to their areas by being, throughout media and being vocal about their feelings of sanctuary, yada, yada, right? And, it's like these people forget there's archives, okay? Luckily, there is. But like I said, we're focusing on Massachusetts, D.C., New York, all right? And here's some shit right here that's going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Smell this.
New Yorkers are angry. I am angry too. We have not asked for this. There was never any agreement to take on the job of supporting thousands of asylum seekers.
Are you sure about that?
Resist!
On day 6 of Donald Trump's presidency, thousands of New Yorkers occupied Washington Square Park to resist the president's executive orders on immigration. From building a wall, travel ban from Muslim countries, to shutting down sanctuary cities like New York City.
About it, the days I spent with our essential employees, a substantial number of them were undocumented. They were delivering our Uber Eats. They were stocking our stores. They were out in the streets, keeping our city running. Let's have immediate translation services to assist that people can have access to the services that are already available. We have to expand NYC Care to make sure everyone has health care. We need to make sure we have proper translation services in our schools so that we can start building out the future as well. And I too take my hat off to the state Senate. That was the right thing to do, because when an immigrant walks into the store and buy a loaf of bread, no one asks, what is your documentation?
And being a sanctuary city means that we are not an agent of the federal government. It means that our police will focus on serving D.C. residents, protecting and serving them no matter their immigration status.
Hi, I'm Muriel Bowser, the Mayor of Washington, D.C. Here in the nation's capital, we support the thousands of immigrants, green card holders, dreamers, and those with temporary protective status who make our communities better.
We celebrate every immigrant who is now a part of our DC community. We celebrate those seeking citizenships and those who are not, and those who are still trying to navigate and figure out what's best for them and their families. We stand together and say, no matter what your plan is, DC is here for you.
Our diversity is our strength, and our unity is our power.
And I say to them, our diversity is our strength.
Our diversity, it is still and always will be one of our greatest strengths.
Our diversity is one of our greatest strengths.
That when all of God's children come together, we're going to show you that our diversity is our strength.
We share an innate understanding that our diversity is an enormous strength.
We reaffirmed in November that we would remain a sanctuary city, which is a safe harbor for those that choose Cambridge to be where they want to reside as they find this pathway to citizenship.
The common policy shared between these 200 places, none of the municipal services will report illegals to the U.S. Immigration Service. 11 million people find themselves in this situation, making up a significant percentage of America's urban population.
Now, there have been proposals on Beacon Hill to make Massachusetts a sanctuary state, but they never passed. There are, however, 8 different communities which call themselves sanctuary cities. As WBZ's Mike Sullivan shows us, that doesn't mean the same thing in each place.
Right now, it's a buzzword, a sanctuary city, a sanctuary state. But what do they mean?
Wait.
When you cross into Cambridge, you cross into a sanctuary city, a place that limits cooperation with federal immigration laws.
All sanctuary cities are doing what they're legally allowed to do.
However, degrees in which these cities don't cooperate can vary.
Right? So, I mean, pretty obvious. It's a sanctuary thing. And you can see Massachusetts, they tried to make it a sanctuary state. It didn't pass. But there's 8 cities that consider themselves sanctuary cities. And don't think that these 3 places are isolated because we're focusing on it, right? Right here's a map that's going to show you and list all the sanctuary areas in the United States. Check this out real quick. fucking insanity, right? I'll bet that opened a lot of eyes, man, because I had no idea that there's that many sanctuary areas in our country. I mean, that's fucking insane. So, and when these people tell you that they're not incentivizing, people to pour through the border, fuck, show them that map. You know what I'm saying? Right there shows you're fucking bullshitting. You're doing more than that. You're actually setting up areas for them to, have a goal to get to or to meet family members, friends, what have you. It's definitely an issue. And of course, the right is not, innocent of this situation. I'm sure there's plenty of them that take advantage of cheap labor costs, and then not to mention the vast majority of Republicans are fucking spineless, and they don't do shit but post one-liners on social media. You know what I'm saying? They get nothing done. They sure as fuck don't defend anything but themselves and their donors. You know what I mean? And even then, most of them barely defend themselves. They fucking kowtow and apologize for fucking false allegations. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they're so easily dealt with and canceled, man. They're goated, scared, little pudding cups. But, the left is the one that's completely, like I said, incentivized this situation, man. And now that they're getting a little flavor, right? They're not digging it, man. Okay? You hear these bitches that, well, we can't, economically stand this influx, yada, yada. How the fuck do you think the states feel that are on the border? It's been the same for us for years, man. And now you're getting a small percentage of it, and you're in fucking meltdown mode. Don't believe me? Check this shit out.
We were really getting in the way, so. Say, Lisa, we were back. Lisa, I have a car seat in this one if we need it. I have one car seat if we need it.
Hola, ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo te sientes? ¿A dónde te llevan? ¿Sabes a dónde te llevan?
How significant is this influx? How many people?
Well, this is a very significant issue. We have for sure called on the federal government to work across state lines to prevent people from really being tricked into getting on buses. But I fear that they're being tricked into nationwide bus trips when their final destinations are places all over the United States of America.
This crisis is not of our own making, but one that will affect everyone in this city now and in the months ahead. The asylum seekers arriving here need more than a hot meal or a bed for a night. Without the ability to work legally in this country, they need long-term shelter, health care, and a great deal of institutional support. It is straining the limits of our ability to provide care for New Yorkers in need, and it is burning through our city's budget.
Mayors do a lot of things, but we are not responsible for a broken immigration system.
D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser declaring a public emergency after Texas and Arizona's governors claim they've bused nearly 10,000 migrants to the district. It's been happening for several months now and has brought the border crisis right here to our area. Fox 5's Stephanie Ramirez live outside of Union Station with the very latest.
We're reaching out to the federal government and stating this is a real burden on New Yorkers as we're trying to do the right thing. We already, as I stated, we already have an overburdened shelter system. So now we're talking about, as you stated, food, clothing, school. This is going to impact our schools because we do not turn away individuals because they're undocumented. Translation services. There's just a whole host of things that this is going to produce, and that's why we need help.
complete flip flop from the earlier footage, huh? I mean, now it's now they're being tricked, right? They were tricked by you, man. You fucking lizard, you, right? They were tricked by you by saying, "Hey, we're sanctuary. You come here, we take care of you, yada yada. We give you jobs, places to live. I mean, translators, on and on." But yet they were tricked by DeSantis, who had them sign release forms in Spanish to take a ride to what's considered a sanctuary. Fucking hilarious, man. So, the replacement that they pushed so hard for, they realize now is not working out in their favor. Politically, right, as far as the Latino vote switching more Republican here recently, or the fact that now their constituents are going to see what the bullshit they push actually causes. You know what I mean? So it's a lose-lose situation for these fucking reptiles, and they're starting to catch on apparently because they're crying foul, right? Hilarious shit, man. Clown world, you almost can't make this up. You know the deal? Tell me I'm bullshitting. Come debate me. Whatever, man. Like, share, subscribe. Smell you later.